Hi, it's Nicole with a card created using the Simon Says Stamp August 2014 card kit. And this card kit has a stamp set in it this month, or for August rather, that has lots of fun frozen treat images and ice cream type sayings that are just really fun to use, especially during the summer months here. I stamped the I love you more than ice cream, that's a lot, greeting using some black Simon Says Stamp ink, along some of the white cardstock included in the kit, and then using some Memento Tuxedo black ink because I'm going to be coloring with Copic markers. I am stamping some of these fun frozen treat images. And I've also created a few masks for them. You can see here I just stamped them again on some Eclipse masking paper, cut them out, and I'm masking off the images so that I can create a whole little row of frozen treats to color in. I needed to create a little mask for the cherry there so I could have a cherry on top of the ice cream cone. And then I'll remove that and you can see how cute that is. These popsicles over here to the left, I'm going to do a whole trio of those, and then one of my fingers got into the black ink and you can see it along the left edge of the card. And as I'm creating the card, I'll show you I changed what I had initially thought I would do, which I ended up liking better anyway, so it worked out. But I did have to kind of think about what I wanted to do to fix the card since I did get an inky black finger on my white cardstock, which was really disappointing. I was trying to figure out the best arrangement for my frozen treats. The 4 things here didn't seem like enough. 5 didn't seem like quite enough. And so I added a cherry. I decided I'd add another one of these popsicles so that there were 3 of them. And then I felt like the right side wasn't quite full enough, so I contemplated using the ice cream cone again, and I finally decided to go with that ice cream bar and stamp it kind of upside down, and I ended up really liking that. So that is the arrangement for my card here today, and I did use that post-it tape. I thought I might go a little further or maybe arrange it a little bit differently, and I didn't want to create another mask, but I ended up not even needing it for that. After I have everything stamped on this smooth white cardstock, I'm going to color everything in with Copics, and I am going to speed through this pretty good. Since it did take a little bit of time to color, there are quite a few images here. It was one of those things that was really fun to color though. All these bright colors and things for the cute ice cream and popsicle images made this a really fun image to color. I'm only using about 2 shades of markers per color for most of the areas. On a few of them I did go with 3, but I do pretty simple coloring, and so that worked well for what I was doing here. The more you saturate the paper with the markers, the easier it is to blend them, especially if there's a little bit bigger difference in color. You'll see that here when I color the popsicles and get up to like the purple on the very tip top. I started with a lighter purple color and then went to a darker, and if I had just kind of simply passed over that again with the lighter marker, it wouldn't have blended together, so I really saturated the paper. So when I get to that, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm trying to keep all of the lids facing up as I'm coloring so that you can see what color I'm using. I have also linked and listed the individual colors below the video on YouTube so that if you're interested in seeing exactly which colors of Copic markers I use to color my card here, you can see all of those there. I just did rainbows for these popsicles. I thought that would be fun. You see these in the store or maybe even have picked some up. They have popsicle rainbow pops They're kind of fun. Now with the blue here, I started with the blue that was almost lavender, and I didn't like it, so I did go over it completely with a different blue and then added a darker blue there before going back with my light color to blend that out. So don't be afraid. Always start light. You can always make it darker, but you can't really go lighter. So here's that purple where there's a huge difference. And you can see I just really had to saturate the paper. You have to be a little bit careful. You don't want it to bleed outside of the stamped line, but I saturated it pretty good and got rid of that really dramatic line from the light and the dark and the purple. Color in the popsicle sticks, add a little bit darker there for a little shading, add some green for the cherry stems, and then I was contemplating what to color those two chocolate type ice cream bars on the right side, and while I did that I went ahead and added a little bit of shadowing with some gray copic markers, some cool grays, blending out the little bit darker cool gray color with the C00 copic. That kind of helps blend any rough edges out. Then I did go back with a gray marker and add just a bit of shading from where the ice cream treats overlap one another. And originally when I colored my chocolate bars, part of it I was going to have like it dipped in chocolate, so the top be kind of brown, and then wanted everything else to be white. And so I went in with some cool grays because I don't ever like to leave anything a stark white. And I actually didn't like that as I got the browns all colored in, so I will show you what I did to fix that so that I didn't ruin my entire project and have to start from scratch. So I'm just coloring in all the brown. I wanted it to be pretty dark. I went in with an E50 eggshell, I believe this is, to start out with to make it look more vanilla in the inside. Sometimes vanilla can have a little bit of a yellow tint to it, so I thought that eggshell would work well. There I added a little bit darker brown and went back in to smooth that out with my brown markers. Went ahead and colored the popsicle stick, and I thought it still wasn't quite dark enough, so the ice cream, the vanilla ice cream part of it, so I went with even a little bit darker shade there. I hate to say darker because these are all pretty light, and this started to make it look a little bit better. I even went in with a little bit darker brown and blended that out before going back with my E50 and blending it out. And I really like how it turned out here. I think that looks much better. I'm taking my probably favorite die from this is the live release from Simon Says Stamp. This is one of them from the frames set, and cutting out my stamped and colored image there. Because I got that black smudge, I didn't want to use it as it was, and so I cut that out, and I'm going to save that inside piece. And then using some yellow cardstock from the kit, I'm going to go ahead and cut out 4 frames because I'm going to stack them one on top of another when I get ready to put my card all together. There is a border stamp in the stamp set this month, or for August. I keep saying this month. It's actually the August kit. Sorry, I don't want to confuse anybody. And I am taking the Green Apple Simon Says Stamp ink, and I created a note card from some of the green cardstock in the card kit, and I'm stamping a tone-on-tone design using that border stamp. It's not perfect, however, because a great deal of the design is going to be hidden back behind the stamped and colored panel, it's okay. And really, once I get that on, any of those little imperfections where I maybe didn't line it up just perfectly, you can't really see them. So I was fairly happy with it. If more of it was going to show, I would probably use something like a Stamp-A-Ma-Jig or something to really make sure that I keep it lined up. I adhered the stamped panel to the center of my card, and now I'm simply using the Zig glue pen to glue that skinny rectangular yellow frame one on top of another to give it a little bit of dimension. It's probably one of my favorite things to do with that die set. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing the August 2014 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. The supplies are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Please subscribe for weekly card making and scrapbooking videos. Thanks for watching.